You are Locked On Yankees POSTCAST, part of Locked On Sports New York on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Oh boy, do we have a good one today. Amazingly, after all that's happened, after the last 6+ months, really 8 months if you count spring training, the Yanks are just 2 wins away from an AL pennant. Problem is, now they've got to pick themselves up off the mat after tonight's killer loss in Cleveland to the Guardians. Final score in 10 innings. Guardians 7-5 over the Bombers. Back-to-back from Judge and Stanton late. Not enough. John Kenzie Noel and David Fry. They both left the ballpark late. Cleveland back in the series. It's now 2-1 Yanks. Hello, everyone. I'm Jay Berman. If you're a New Yorker, you might recognize my work. If not, welcome aboard. I've spent more than 2 decades in the biz, everything from TV to web to radio. You can follow me on X at Jay Berman. That's JayBerman. Welcome to the Locked On Yankees postcast, both on the Locked On Sports New York YouTube channel and the Locked On Yankees podcast feed. The postcast gives you a place to hang out after every single Yankees game. We're part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every single day. We'll chat everything. Clark Schmidt, who was the starter tonight, he was average at best. The pen was once again solid right up until the end when things certainly changed, and we'll get to that. Aaron Judge, Giancarlo Stanton, what can you say? If those two get hot, the Yanks will be in great shape. And, of course, we'll set you up for Game 4 in Cleveland, which is tomorrow night. All that coming up on the postcast. This episode is brought to you by Prize Picks. Download the app today. Use code LOCKEDONMLB to win $50 instantly when you play your first $5 lineup. That's Prize Picks. Run your game. All right, as we said, a 7-5 memorable game. And the Guardians are back in the series after home runs from John Kenzie Noel. That came in the 8th inning. And then, in the 9th inning to tie it up. And then David Fry, the 2-run home run in the bottom of the 10th inning to give the Indians the win. Again, 7-5, the final score. We talked about the bullpen and how amazing it's been. Well, tonight things changed. Clark Schmidt, after his 4 2/3, and we'll get to his start, he allowed 2 earns. Ian Hamilton left with an injury, not sure how severe it's going to be, but he allowed a run. Then, of course, Luke Weaver, the 2-run shot to Noel, that came at the bottom of the ninth. That's a blown save. Then Clay Holmes, who also has been brilliant in the postseason, did not allow a run so far in the postseason. Well, that's changed. He threw just 8 pitches. And David Fry connected. Both those home runs were bombs. Not that that matters, but worthy of note, they were bombs. Yankees pitching, they walked 7 batters in 9 2/3. We'll call it 9+. Again, 7 walks for Yankee pitching, 8 walks for Guardian pitching. And obviously, a lot of concern in regard to the bullpen, the back end. How long could that run have lasted? Clay Holmes and Luke Weaver have been nothing short of tremendous. So they absolutely get a pass for tonight. However, it comes at a terrible time. Yankees were the best road team in the American League during the season. Guardians, the best home team in the American League during the season. And considering the way that game went, wow, we had the best of both worlds. Yanks have only trailed 8 innings of the first 6 playoff games. They trailed 2-1 after the 3rd inning. That was the first time this series the Yankees had trailed. And again, coming into tonight, just 8 innings of the first 6 playoff games. And obviously they trailed tonight and they come back to lose tonight. So those numbers will change. In regard to the lineup, obviously some tinkering going on. Jose Trevino at catcher, John Birdie at first base, and we'll talk about Anthony Rizzo in the defense. I'm guessing Anthony Rizzo isn't healthy because there were 2 plays after he was assigned a defensive replacement himself, misplays the Will Brennan double in the 8th inning. Then the error in the 9th inning, which ultimately was erased by the double play. However, it was the first batter in the bottom of the 9th inning with the Yankees up 2 runs. So the defense not there for Rizzo, and yet he was a defensive replacement. We have to talk about the closers as well. Both of them getting tagged tonight. We'll get to it. All right, let's dive into the pitching, and we'll start with Clark Schmidt. 4 2/3, 5 hits, 2 earned, 2 walks, 2 Ks, and the home run through just 78 pitches. But you can tell Stephen Vogt and Aaron Boone are not messing around. They go to Tim Hill to get the final out of the 5th. He does the job on just 4 pitches. Ian Hamilton gets a third of an inning under his belt before he's pulled and tried to throw a warm-up pitch. That warm-up pitch, after the initial talk about the injury, went to the backstop, and at that point he was done. It looked like it was his left leg. Certainly don't want to speculate, but it certainly was a lower body injury. Meza and Canely got the job done despite the fact that they both walked 2 batters. They did not allow a run. Then came Luke Weaver, who you figured at least tonight would be good for 4 outs. He was good for 4 outs. He was good for 3. And then the 4th one after the home run. So conveniently, Luke Weaver, an inning and a third. He threw just 20 pitches, but obviously one too many. Clay Holmes, who, as we said, had not allowed a run in the postseason. What a resurrection it's been. Well, you know what happened tonight. David Fry lit him up. Holmes threw just 8 pitches. He did get 2 outs in the frame, but obviously not nearly enough. All right, we talked about those replacement lineup suggestions. We thought Trevino would be in there for Austin Wells. Wasn't sure about John Birdie for Anthony Rizzo. Trevino in his first at bat since the last game of the regular season. That was the RBI single to put the Yankees on top in the 2nd inning. That gave the Yankees a 1-0 run. However, and I cannot tell you how many times we've seen this. You know how many times we've seen this. He gets picked off in between first and second base. The Yankee base running has just been abysmal. Now, Austin Wells pinch hits for Trevino in the 8th inning. That was the first pinch hitter used by Boone this entire postseason. They did not use a pinch hitter in the division series against the Kansas City Royals. Of course, that series only lasted 4 games. Yankees won it 3-1. Through the first 2 games of the championship series, both of those games obviously in New York, Yankees did not use a pinch hitter. Tonight, that changed. Again, Wells pinch hits for Trevino in the 8th inning. The first pinch hitter used by Boone this postseason, which is just remarkable considering everything that went on. Boone was hot after the clock violation on Juan Soto in the top of the 1st inning, really the second at bat. Not sure why the Yankees were so upset about that. He did not make eye contact by 8 seconds with the pitcher. So it was rightfully so a clock violation. Boone wasn't happy. Alex Verdugo on the bench wasn't happy. Obviously, Juan Soto wasn't happy. Regardless, Clark Schmidt appeared once in the ALDS, and guess what? He went 4 2/3 against the Royals. What did Clark Schmidt do tonight? He went 4 2/3, allowed 2 earned runs on 2 walks and the home run through just 78 pitches, 48 for strikes. So the split there, not great. But again, 7-5, the final score. Matthew Boyd got the start for Cleveland. He threw 5 pretty good innings. Allowed just 1 earned run. His 3rd start this postseason, of course, 2 in the division series against Detroit. He became the first Guardians pitcher to complete 5 innings this postseason. Tonight, retired the final 10 batters he faced. He threw 75 pitches, and we all love Cade Smith from a Cleveland perspective. We know how good of a middle reliever he's been. However, and it turned out to work because the Guardians win. However, Boyd had thrown just 75 pitches through the first 5 and had retired the final 10 batters he faced. No reason why he couldn't go into the 6th, if not the 7th inning. Again, he had maybe 20 to 30 pitches left in that arm. Smith, who's been brilliant, did not allow a run. Herron who's been pretty good, did not allow a run. Gaddis and Clase, and we'll get to Clase and the closer situation, they obviously gave up runs. Yanks plated 3 in the top of the 8th to take a 4-3 advantage. And we know why, because of the home runs from Aaron Judge and then Giancarlo Stanton. Clase came in for the 4-out save. Faces Judge, the very first batter. 2-run shot to the opposite field. It was a seed. He had homered in back-to-back games. Stanton, back-to-back home runs. And just like that, the air is out of the building. It's now 4-3 Yankees. And you figure with Luke Weaver and Clay Holmes, this puppy's over. Especially when the Yanks plated a run in the top of the 9th. For insurance, Volpe scores, makes it 5-3. Bottom of the 9th inning. Well, technically bottom of the 8th inning when Luke Weaver comes on for the beginning of a 4-out save. So he comes in just like Clase did with 2 outs in the 8th, gets the out in the 8th. We're on to the 9th, and then we know what happens there. John Kenzie Noel with a no-doubter, the first of 2 no-doubters. So both closers tonight were in for reasons of 4-out saves. Both closers failed. Weaver an inning and a third, 2 runs, 2 walks, the homer through 20 pitches. Clase with the blown save, just a third of an inning, 3 hits, 2 earned, and allowed 2 home runs through just 15 pitches. We have a stat about that, and it's worthy of mention. When we come back, we'll get to it, and it involves Clase. All right, Prize Picks is America's #1 daily fantasy sports app with over 5 million active members. How about 1 Caleb Williams passing yard gets you 1 win on Prize Picks every week in October? That's right, only 1 yard gets you an automatic win every football weekend. 4 weeks of free W's. Don't miss the deal on Prize Picks because it's gone when October ends. You can now win up to 100 times your money on Prize Picks with as little as 4 correct picks. Prize Picks is the best way to get action on sports in most states. That includes California, Texas, and even Georgia. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use code LOCKEDONMLB. Get $50 instantly when you play $5. That's code LOCKEDONMLB on Prize Picks to get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. Prize Picks. Run your game. All right, we're back after a heartbreaking, gut-punching loss for the Yankees. The Guardians beat the Yankees tonight 7-5 in 10 innings. We talked about Emmanuel Clase. Just some stats worthy of note. Certainly, it's Cleveland's problem, and we'll let them deal with it. But he has now given up more runs this postseason, has Clase, than the entire regular season. Get this. He faced 270 batters in the regular season, gave up 5 earned runs, which is amazing. He's faced 27 batters this postseason and has given up 6 earned runs. Again, 270 batters, 5 earned. 27 batters in the postseason, 6 earned, including the big blasts tonight. Now, only 2 of those runs belong to Clase, but it was 3 runs that scored. So again, just a remarkably historic night for both Luke Weaver and Emmanuel Clase. I'm not sure how many times we had both closers gunning for 4-out saves and both closers blowing it. Luke Weaver, a blown save. Emmanuel Clase, a blown save. Obviously, Clay Holmes, who gives up the home run to Fry in the 10th, takes the loss. And obviously, those were his first earned runs allowed in this postseason as well. All right, you forget about the Kyle Manzardo home run, the rookie with his first postseason home run. And as we said, it was the first lead of the series for Cleveland. That came in the bottom of the 3rd. So the Yankees had a 1-0 lead early. Clark Schmidt cruising, so to speak. And that home run from Manzardo in the 3rd inning didn't necessarily change things. One, it made things more palpable for that crowd, if you think about it, in that you believed that they were still alive. At 4-3, even at 5-3 in the ninth, down to their final out, you might not have thought that. But this gave the fans the confidence that they weren't going to quit. The Manzardo home run gave the Guardians their first lead of the series at 2-1. They would make it 3-1 in the bottom of the sixth. However, those home runs in the eighth inning from the Yankees were spectacular. First Judge to right field, and then Stanton follows him up with a blast to center. The 4-out save was the enemy of both closers tonight. All right, we've got to set you up now for a pivotal game number 4 for the Yankees, which of course comes your way Friday night. That's tomorrow night. Yankees and Guardians. The Yankees, of course, now lead the series 2-1. Luis Gil will get the start for New York. Gavin Williams goes for Cleveland. And again, they will flip with the National League Championship Series. Yankees and Guardians tomorrow night will play the 8 Eastern time start, while the Dodgers and Mets flip back to the early start time, the 5 Eastern start time. Again, Yankees and Guardians, Dodgers and Mets, the final 4 in baseball. And game 4 of the American League Championship Series will be Friday in Cleveland. Weather looks okay. The Yanks obviously favored, minus 120 on the money line. And the total at this point in time is 7.5. Again, Gavin Williams and Luis Gil are your starters. All right, 7-5, the final score. Yanks have only trailed coming into tonight in 8 innings of the first 6 playoff games. But you know what? It doesn't matter now. Everything has changed because the Gardos are back in it. Amazingly. You even heard Brian Anderson and Ron Darling and Jeff Francoeur suggest that this epic game was one of the greatest postseason games ever. Bit much, hyperbolic for sure, exciting nonetheless. So the John Kenzie Noel pinch hit 2-out, 2-run homer in the bottom of the ninth inning ties the game, sends it to extras. And then David Fry, the walk-off 2-run homer off Clay Holmes in the bottom of the 10th, sends everybody home happy. Really was an unforgettable night for all the right reasons for Cleveland and obviously for all the wrong reasons for the Yankees. We will once again size up game 4. And there'll be a game 5 as well. We'll get you set for both those games after this quick break. All right. Hey, guys, your sex life is important, but I get it. Your schedule is busy. You don't have the time to go to the doctor to get treated for ED. Listen up. Through HIMS, you can get a personalized ED treatment without leaving home. HIMS is changing men's health care by providing you with access to affordable sexual health treatments from the comfort of your couch. HIMS provides access to a range of doctor-trusted ED treatments like chewable hard mints, Viagra and Cialis, and their generics for up to 95% cheaper. All you have to do is answer a series of questions, and a medical provider will determine the right treatment option for you. Your medication ships directly to you in discreet packaging for free. No insurance necessary. There's just one low price to cover everything from treatments to ongoing care. With hundreds of thousands of trusted subscribers, HIMS can help you find the ED option that works for you. Start your free online visit today at hims.com/lockedon. That's hims.com/lockedon. For your personalized ED treatment options, again, it's hims.com/lockedon. The products mentioned are chewable compounded products which are not approved by or verified for safety or effectiveness by the FDA. Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate restrictions apply. See the website for details and important safety information. A subscription is required. Price varies based on the product and the subscription plan. All right, one more segment on the show. 7-5, the final score. Cleveland Guardians, New York Yankees will play at least 5 games in the American League Championship Series. When it appeared The Yankees were well on their way to a comfortable 3-0 series lead, a commanding 3-0 series lead. It was not to be. The home run from Jhonkensy Noel in the bottom of the ninth off of Luke Weaver, stunning. That ties the game. Then the home run from David Fry, who's been nothing but clutch this postseason, stunning. That came off of Clay Holmes. As we talked about, both Holmes and Luke Weaver have been brilliant until tonight. Didn't happen tonight. Is that to be expected? Not necessarily. But could it be possible that we expected too much from those guys? I mean, they pitched in basically every game in the Kansas City series. They pitched almost every game here in the first 3 games of the championship series against Cleveland. They're bound to get tired. Let's hope for the Yankees' sake that does not happen, but something to keep your eye on. Not taking any credit away from Noel or from Fry, but at some point, these guys are going to tire. So let's hope it's not anytime soon. As for the lineup, we haven't gone through it yet. No Yankee had more than 1 hit. Judge had the home run. Amazingly, he's still batting 174 through the first 7 games of the postseason. Stanton still hitting over 300 with the big home run. Jazz Chisholm continues to struggle, hitting 148. John Birdie went 0 for 4. Anthony Volpe had a hit. Alex Verdugo had a hit. Jose Trevino had the RBI hit early. But again, Anthony Rizzo was a defensive replacement late and had some difficulty on defense, which I don't know. Either play Rizzo or don't. I'm not sure about the halvesies here. And even though there was a left-handed hitter, John Birdie also made some questionable defensive plays at first base. And if that is going to be the case and Birdie's not going to hit, then you might as well play Rizzo, even if it's against a lefty. All right, 7-5, the final score. Thank you for making Locked On Yankees your first listen today. Now go check out the Locked On MLB podcast. Prepare for the Fall Classic with Sully, who has it all covered every single day. You can find the link to Locked On MLB in the description, so you don't need to search. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every single day. Also want to mention our partners in crime over at Locked On Yankees, Stacey Goutsoulias and Brian McKeon. They handle all the stuff again at Locked On Yankees. They're the best. Follow, subscribe, and enjoy. As we said, a remarkably memorable Game 3 of the 2024 American League Championship Series. And because of the way things went down, we got ourselves a brand new series. Yankees had a 5-3 advantage into the bottom of the 9th inning. 2 outs, a man on. Jhonkensy Noel, the rookie, the pinch hitter, goes yard, and he went yard. It was far. An absolute bomb. That tied it at 5. Into the 10th, Yankees failed to score in the top of the 10th despite getting runners on. Then in the bottom of the 10th, Clay Holmes, gopher ball. Gone. David Fry. And just like that, the Indians snatch victory from the jaws of defeat, vice versa for the Yankees. 7-5 the score in 10. And it is a 2-1 series lead now for the Yankees. We'll be right with you on the postcast on Friday and on Saturday. Can the Yankees close things out? We'll have to wait and see. Until then, have a great night, everyone.